Hey, I'm Reagan and you're watching Reg's Voice. And this is my Future Trunks video. Anime in the streets. Hentai in the... well, you know. Yeah, I know I have blue hair. It's kind of matching this raglan that I have on, isn't it? Anyway, all right, so this video is gonna be all about Dragon Ball Z and Future Trunks, two of my biggest loves in the anime world. So if you don't like either, I don't know if you really want to watch this or not. Every time I start filming, they get frisky. So this video is going to be, as I said, about Future Trunks and Dragon Ball Z. You know, I consider myself a very big Trunks fangirl, Future Trunks fangirl on the internet, and I always have since I was, oh God, probably for like 20 years now I've been a huge fan of his. That's a long time. And I don't have every single item that I own of Future Trunks with me in this apartment, but I do have quite a bit. I guess I should start by explaining my love and interest and obsession with Trunks over the years. I think I was in maybe first or second grade. I was around like 7, 8, that age. In terms of interests, I wasn't your typical like little girly girl. I was into like video games, you know, Pokemon, cartoons. I didn't really like to go outside, so I wasn't necessarily, you know, that kind of kid. I remember very clearly about, you know, that first time I tuned into Toonami on Cartoon Network, like 96, 97, early Toonami with, I think Sunny Strait as Tom's voice actor, not Steve Bloom, before Steve Bloom.
Toonami's got a new house, new host, change is in the air.
Sailor soldiers, we must fight together.
But for now, Sailor Moon kicks off at 4. Reboot throws us into gear at 4:30.
It ends now.
Dragon Ball Z brings the pain at 5 o'clock.
Don't ever try to stop me. Those two guys were monsters, not men.
The real adventures of Johnny Quest confounds the masses at 5:30. What?
It was just, it's great. Like, I have all kinds of episodes of Toonami, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Thundercats, all of that jazz. I have it recorded on VHS at my parents' house, and it's, that is like the prime nostalgic material for me. My dad owned his own business back then, and so I would come home from school and just binge watch, you know, from like I would get home about 3:30 or so, and I would watch Sailor Moon at 4, Thundercats at 4:30, and Dragon Ball Z at 5. And later on, I remember they moved Dragon Ball Z to 5 and 5:30, I think because it just got so popular in the US. That was the original Ocean Studios stub. That was not Funimation. Funimation didn't pick up Dragon Ball Z, I think, until 99, late 90s. Late Frieza saga, right before the Trunks saga. As far as I know, the Trunks saga in the US was only known, Trunks was only known to be voiced in the US by Eric Vale, formerly Eric Johnson. The Ocean Studios voice actor for Trunks, I never really liked because I was only ever used to Eric Vale voicing him.
You only hate the fact that you're powerless to stop me, that you're completely outmatched. Well, imagine feeling the way you do now all of the time, like the people of this planet do.
And that, my friends, is the prime example of why I'm not a fan of the Ocean Studios dub of DBZ past the Trunks saga, because it's terrible.
You hate the fact that you're powerless to stop me, that you're completely outmatched. Well, imagine feeling the way you do now all of the time like the people of this planet do.
Oh yeah, there's the good stuff. Better acting, better context clues, better music, better everything. Also though, I didn't notice this before, but this is the exact same dialogue as the Ocean Studios dub. Is it that way for the entire series? Because I never really looked into that. That's strange. I have a Trunks mug, by the way. But this is a full Dragon Ball Z mug. Where's Trunks? He's right here. So anyway, I was a cute little semi-tomboy girl that loved violent cartoons, even though they were heavily edited back then. The violence was not what the violence truly is in Dragon Ball Z. Although I probably still shouldn't have been watching it, but whatever. If I recall correctly, I think that I originally had a crush on Gohan, because I remember, you know, I loved Goku and Piccolo. I didn't like Vegeta in the very beginning. I mean, most people, well, I won't say most people, but a lot of people did not. All my guy friends did, of course. But, you know, I didn't really have a favorite. I just liked all the characters. I remember being like, wow, who is this lavender-haired, bowl-cut guy with a sword on his back and blue eyes and jean jacket? I just loved him. You know, Trunks grew quite a bit between coming back after giving Goku the medicine and when the androids came about and Cell came about. You know, when he came back from the future again, he grew so much from that time until the end of this until the end of the Cell games. He grew so much. And yeah, he had daddy issues. He's very shy, he's modest, he sees himself as a baby. He has a lot of problems. He has a lot of emotional problems. And I liked his character growth, his characteristics. He's such a sweet guy. And, you know, he tries to get approval from his father because he never really knew his father in the future. He learned so much about himself during the Cell games. And, you know, of course, there's another villain. He hadn't even seen Cell. Android 19 and Dr. Gero, he didn't even know who they were. I mean, and 16, Android 16. You know, there's a whole thing. Like, he came back from the future. He came back to the past, current timeline. And there were so many problems. So many more problems than in his future. Well, he got through it, even though Cell killed him. That scene was tragic. Fun fact. I was so obsessed with Trunks in middle school that I actually created a website. It was called lavendersaiyan.net. I created that website because I was so obsessed with Trunks and I loved him so much. There wasn't a lot of product that you could buy that was just Trunks. It was, you know, Trunks with Goku, Trunks with Gohan, Trunks with Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan. You know, you couldn't buy a t-shirt really with just Trunks. Does anybody remember the Z store? It was the really old Funimation Dragon Ball Z store. It's not even around anymore, as far as I know. I bought that t-shirt. It's a kid's youth, and it has Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, and Goku on it. It has all of them, and it's one of the classic DBZ pictures, you know, that you can find on the internet. But that was one of the few things that you could buy back then. You know, you really couldn't find that much with just future Trunks on it. That wasn't really a thing. Until the last probably decade, maybe half a decade, you know, future Trunks stuff, solely future Trunks stuff, really didn't come about. I will get into my Trunks collection later, and I'm sure some people that are a fan of his have probably more things than me. I don't know. It was really hard for me back in the day. So I made a website. I collected all of like fan art, and I talked about his, you know, past and his everything really. I had like a photo gallery, fan art. I had a little bio section about him. I had a page, I think I had a page dedicated to why I liked him. Anyway, yeah, I created a website for Trunks. I was so obsessed with him. Fun fact number 2. When he has short hair, he has 2 little sprigs of hair right here, right? When he has long hair, he has 1 little sprig of hair. Yes. So I think maybe I did have 2, maybe I did separate 2 sprigs. I don't remember. If I can find the pictures, I will post them all over here. Because I, at one point, made my hair like Trunks, and I had, in high school, I actually had purple tips. I don't know if I have any pictures of that, but I had like purple. I have an obsessive personality. Now I'm going to get into my collection. All right, so I'm gonna have to find a few things, and insert them in here later. But first I'm gonna go over my plushies. So I have my adorable little plushies here of future Trunks. This one still has the tag on. This one's actually from Kai. So these two are my future Trunks plushies. This one's my favorite. I like this one, but he's more of, I think he's more of a UFO style. Whereas this one is much more characteristic and unique and, well, not unique, but you know what I mean. He actually looks like Trunks. He actually has the little cheek marks and everything. And this one, he doesn't have his sword. I just realized that. He doesn't have his sword. Oh my God. Of course I like this one better then. His little detail, look at him, how cute. Even his little feet. Come on. Look at his little feet. Let's see. Oh, I had this. When I was in Japan a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I bought this. I think you can get it. Come on. Come on. There we go. Look at him, how cute. Yeah, there we go. See? It's really nice detail on his face. And really everywhere. But yeah, I got him from just a figurine store in, I think, Akihabara in Japan, I think. That's where I got him. But he sits on my desk and just watches me work all the time. Let's see, I have two Trunks figures, but two of each of those, if that makes sense. One I got in Japan and then one I got here, I think, when I was younger. Yeah, one of these was really hard to find back in the day, and the duplicate of that I got years later for my birthday, I think, from a coworker. I also have a Trunks pop figure, and he's super cute. And that, I remember when the Dragon Ball Z pop figures were released, I was like, oh my God, are they making a Trunks one? I digress. I have other things, such as, I do have all the original Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes of the Trunks saga, the Android saga, Imperfect, Perfect, and Cell Games saga. I have all of that. It's not with me, but I have it. But I do have with me the classic re-edition of the Future Trunks, History of Trunks movie. You know, the one released by Funimation a few years ago, and it has the English and Japanese versions in it. It's this nice tin case here. It's one of my favorite pictures of Trunks and probably one of the most popular. I just spit everywhere. I guess I'm just thirsty. Bruce Faulkner, the guy that did the music for Dragon Ball Z, I have the Trunks CD somewhere. I don't know if I have it here, actually. I think it's at my mom's. Why is all this stuff at my mom's? That soundtrack though, and the soundtrack for this movie was so good. There's only a few movies that still make me cry like a baby now that I'm in my late 20s, and it's this movie and Pokemon the first movie and Pokemon 2000.
Pikachu.
I also bought this a few years ago. This is the Trunks Saga version of DBZ Kai. And honestly, I didn't even watch all of Kai. I mean, it's just a revamp of the original. That's why I didn't really bother, you know, buying the whole series, because I could just watch it online. Why? Well, why am I making this video if you don't know why I bought just the Dragon Ball Z Kai set of the Trunks Saga? I also have Future Trunks earrings. Oh my God, focus. Okay. Isn't it cute? These lights are like reflecting so much on him that you can't really tell. But anyway, it's a little chibi form of Trunks that I have. I think I got them at a convention a few years ago, several years ago. I haven't been to an anime convention in years, unfortunately. Going to Anime Expo this year though. Another cool Future Trunks item that I have is a custom Airbrush t-shirt. I forgot to find it before I started this video, but I will find it and I will film it and insert it here. And it has one of the classic, it's one of the classic poses, pictures of him. And it says my name at the bottom. It's just a normal Airbrush t-shirt. It's not the best ever, but it is really good for what I paid, I think. Eventually, I think I will go back home to my parents and record all of my old collection of anime merchandise and toys and all that jazz and talk about it, because I do have a lot of old Dragon Ball Z stuff that you could only buy. That's really hard to find now. I have a Dragon Ball Z Christmas ornament that I bought from the Z store back in the day. I have all of the DBZ manga from 1 to like 26. I also have a Capsule Corp mug with Trunks in I think 3 different poses on it. I know I have more Future Trunks stuff that I just can't think of right now. There is a Trunks body pillow that I want, and for a very long time I wanted this. I wanted a Future Trunks body pillow. I'm typing it in right now. Yeah, see, you couldn't find these for a very long time. And people started getting creative, I'm assuming, and now they make one, and I'm gonna get it. Because I'm a perv. If you're a Trunks fangirl, do you remember it's TempleOTrunks.com. But it was basically a Future Trunks actually, any version of Trunks domain for the internet, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. So she had collections of like doujinshi, she had fan art, she had, scans of all the episodes of the Trunks saga. She had the soundtracks on there. She had, all kinds of pictures and wallpapers and everything you could think of, really. She had a whole bio dedicated to him, talking about his past, his present, his future. She had everything you could ever think of that you wanted to know about Trunks. So Temple O Trunks, she has humor, media, images, and I mean, you see all of these different sections here. For us Future Trunks fangirls, that's really cool of her to keep it up. Now, I don't know how modernized it is. It's still not a super modern website. It was back then, of course, but she hasn't really updated it for a long time. So, and I think she started it apparently here. It says 1998. Okay, so before I freak out anymore, I don't think I have anything else to say in this video. I told you a little bit about how I became to love Dragon Ball Z, how I became to love Trunks, my history of loving Trunks, and I showed you some of my Future Trunks collection. So if you have any other questions, or if you have any other concerns, or anything else to add, please add it in the comments below. I know I'm a crazy fangirl for this character. Always have been, always will be. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. 짠해!